Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much again for joining me here. Hope you're having a great day. Now look here at AVAX, double checking a few things. I get the question now, is the bottom end for AVAX now that we hit this $26 range, essentially our take profit target. Quickly to note, congrats to our community, 36% on a AVAX short in 5 days there. Essentially our take profit target, I believe, was 26.15, 26.20, right in that range. Also hit our second target for Bitcoin at 25% in 2 days. So we are, I wouldn't say short heavy, but we have no longs open. And minus Dogecoin almost hitting our take profit target there. We're looking pretty solid in all of our shorts. So do we take a short now? Do you take a long? What's the case? That's the question I get right now. We're going to double check that and a few other things here. We do have a significant amount of liquidation that's just been swept, roughly 1.2 billion to the downside, which may not seem like a lot if you're used to like watching my Bitcoin analysis videos, because that's like 50, 60 billion at a time. But it's a lot for AVAX, okay? Before we get started though, just ask a quick favor, hit the like button, maybe comment below if you get a chance, deeply appreciate that. Helps grow the channel, get this in front of more people, and perhaps less views to the Moon Boys. I really have nothing against them, I just think it's terrible that I have a lot of people coming to my community that have been destroyed by them. That needs to change. Either way, whatever. It's just kind of the par for the course. They're always going to be there. It's just like scammers. They're just a plague to the nation. But what else can we do, right? So take a look here. $25 to $26. Decent amount of liquidation here. We can kind of see that level there. So when we look at the larger time frame, we can see a little easier the more macro perspective. This is roughly maybe liquidation from a couple of weeks ago, but the general consensus here is that we can see over the last 2 weeks worth of trading, roughly between $24.60 and $26. There's probably about 2 billion, maybe 1.5 to 2 billion if you add that all up together. I'm paraphrasing, just not even adding it up, but there's quite a lot of liquidation still left. Okay, so even though the larger concentration at 26.60 was taken care of, and the second largest at about 26.30, which is close to our take profit, by the way, we are seeing a likelihood of further downside. Okay, again, this is just a perspective of for macro liquidation. It doesn't mean the price is going to continue to run, but it does mean that there's more incentive for the price to come lower than it is to go up from here. Okay, a lot of times local lows are retested, specifically with altcoins we're seeing right now. So we could even see that what was it, that range of $25 as a possibility, a low 25s. Okay, so just kind of throwing that out there. We can, however, see here, and this is generally favorable for longs, there's too many shorts in the market. When you have the liquidation delta at a high point for too long, it basically just implies that reverse polarity will occur soon. So again, usually when I see this extended over the last 3 or 4 trading days, then it's usually a cause for concern when we could see a pivot here soon. So I do think AVAX is reaching its tentative bottom just based on this here, but if Bitcoin continues to run to 64.5, I think AVAX will retest that $25 mark. We got open interest here at about $27.70. Ouch. So whoever's in at $27.70 is having a pretty bad day right now. I'm sorry if that is you. If you were part of our community, you would have considered a short a few days ago. Hindsight's 20/20, I get it. And in fact, when we took the short, the price went up to like 29.5. But the way in which we structure the trade allowed for us to average into our position and to get more profit out of it, so to speak. So I love it when that happens. That's generally how trading should work. You should be averaging in and averaging out of your positions, just because it works tremendously better than just all in and all out. Granted, the market lately has been kind of requiring us to kind of go all in and all out in some certain ways, but generally speaking, I love to position myself with averages instead of just 100% at a time. Anyways, let's go ahead and I'll draw some new fib levels here. Actually, no, the fib levels are fine. But what I want to draw out later, of course, is on my playout chart. I'll update our playout chart and post that on our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. That'll include new liquidation levels and amounts. And when we look here, though, of course, we can see we're maintaining really close to that 50-day SMA. So generally speaking, being below the 20 is a trend setter, letting us know, hey, we're on the wrong side of the tracks. So this previous support did not hold hardly at all today. It held 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times before it broke, and we can see 27.25 as a round number, even say 27.30, is that new resistance. So as a best case scenario for AVAX, the price recovers, we're likely to see something along these lines. Okay, that's usually a common occurrence with descending trends. It'll retest key level supports that are now a resistance. We can also reaffirm the fact that 27.50 is that point of control here for the local range. This is again just for the last month and a half worth of trading. So once more, depending on how you look at the overall perspective, that'll change, but the last couple months worth of trading, people are heavy at 27.50, which implies majority of those are in the red right now. Having said that, let's look at the larger stuff here, basically the indicators. or oscillators, whatever you want to call them. We can see we're under 50 on the RSI, money flow index to be low, stochastic swing back, MACD diverging, TSI under 0. There's nothing here telling us you want to take a long position. I mean, nothing. And I covered this earlier too when I talked about Bitcoin when it was at 66,000 and some change. I said do not take a long with Bitcoin. All right, so do not long Bitcoin. Poop emoji, right? That gives you perspective on what's going on right now. So do not long AVAX. Same scenario, okay? Because again, this coin has aligned itself with Bitcoin to the downside. It's not favorable. We can see TD sequential, however, showing us we're about 7 4-hour candles into this continuation. So we probably have another 8 to 12 hours before the price bottoms out officially. So it could continue to run to 25. I think that's a distinct possibility. Is it probable? No, it just depends on how Bitcoin responds, right? Anyways, from a simple moving average perspective, we're below every single SMA. Once you lose that, you generally do not want to consider longs. Everything here is pointing at a potential pivot, though. A lot of times when you see the RSI and MFI get closer to 20 or 30 to the downside, you'll see the price action respond positively for a short period of time. So just heads up, we might see that, but I think it's less likely. It would make sense for us to come all the way down here first. I think 25. We're gonna see the $25 range here soon, at least the low to mid 25s. I think. Taking a look at the 4-hour time frame, let's quickly recognize. Sorry, the hourly time frame rather. Let's quickly recognize the proof in the pudding here, folks. Every single sign is pointing down. You do not take a long into this situation here. First of all, descending trend line. Check. We are below the descending trend line. You do not take a long into that. Check number 2. We're below the cloud. Also a series of moving averages helping us understand we shouldn't take a long into it until we break soundly above. So I would say best case scenario, the price comes up here and we get a closure at 27.30 or higher in the next 48 to 72 hours. That's a cause for consideration for a long position. And that only comes with Bitcoin maintaining its range in the 65 to 66K range and essentially sustaining its price action and not breaking down any further. So there's a lot that needs to happen here before you take a long with this coin. Now, do you take a short right now at this point? I would say no. Oftentimes I like to wait for the short to pivot, the price to pivot before I take a short. So a logical place would be a golden pocket here when the price recovers. So again, I'd much rather wait for 26.75 that never happens to take a short that would be higher success rate than to short the bottom right now. Once again, I'm not going to short into the blind. You don't set a limit order on a 20x leverage short for AVAX in the blind, hoping that that gets filled while you're away working. If you can't watch it and monitor it closely, you shouldn't trade it. Really, that's what it boils down to right now. That's just how crazy the market is. Unfortunately, you need to dedicate some time to it, and not everybody has that time. Partly the reason why we have automated trades in our community, so obviously check that out if you're curious. It does work favorably. Just keep in mind, some countries, unfortunately, US is not one of those countries that really works well with those kind of trading bots. Once more, manual entries working very strong, very well, but that's a conversation for another day. So let's see here. Last but not least here in the hourly, really everything is pointing down. We got the conversion line below the baseline, lagging spans free and clear. There is absolutely zero reasons to take a long. Have I said that enough? I don't know. I feel like I'm repeating myself, but I kind of have to because some people will probably fast forward to the end to try to get the answers, or some people will shortchange themselves and only hear what they want to hear and be like, oh wait, he said there's a bullish convergence on one time frame. Yeah, we might pivot for a moment, but that's just it's not sustainable. Okay, what is sustainable is the likelihood of the price going down lower, and that's mainly because Bitcoin is running. Okay, so this poop emoji should give you perspective on what's going on. Okay, that is effectively what's going on for AVAX. So here, maybe this will make you feel a little bit better. Boop. All right. So that's where we're at there, folks. I'll post our playout chart on Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. Hope this made sense. Make sure you reference Bitunix too. Phenomenal exchange, folks. No KYC or VPN. They have a nice deposit reward bonus this month. Between now and the end of the month, you get some awesome futures bonus. So check that out. Thanks again for your time. We'll see you in the next one. Have a good rest of your day. Take care.